Enter text you wish spoken here. If you treat people as enemies, they will become your enemies. Living in your life, never use your tongue to destroy yourself. Turn into an alien who is alienated. Say more to make you less hostile than to turn yourself into a small person who hates. The owner of Alibaba Group, Jack Ma, is one of the talented billionaires in the world with very deep influence. Not only is the inspiration for startups in China, the name Jack Ma is also influential around the world with impressive sentences. One of them is, if you treat people like enemies, they will become your enemies. The statement reveals his main business motto is when dealing with the opponent is not to regard them as enemies, because he thinks he can learn a lot from them. However, in everyday life, sometimes we unknowingly add hatred to you just because of your tongue in your mouth moments, sowing on the hearts of other people with unfriendly actions. Sometimes we say and do not carry bad ideas but are too straight, too real because to think frankly is good, sometimes too insensitive in some cases. For example, someone comes to your house to play. When I got in the car to leave, the other person immediately said, "Oh my God, now the road is full of accidents. Take a careful stand and watch for a car crash." Should only say one sentence is go carefully, then say the words out of the way now full of accidents, watch out for a crash, something else is cursing people. Although it is true, the words make the listener more anxious and frightened. That's why it's true to say that it is evil. Because it may be because of anxiety, that person may be hit by a real car. Or someone who saw others complained of this disease and asked what was the disease, the other said that the first stage cancer, answered, "Heavenly, this cancer will die after all." A shared sentence of this type not only does not comfort the opponent but only makes the patient want to die and decline. This is no longer a word but a weapon that makes listeners worry, suffer, and even hurt. And after that, we unknowingly create unworthy enemies, become small people, foolish people in the eyes of those around us. Words don't cost money. Choose words to speak to each other. The proverbial verse passed down from ancient times teaches us since childhood that Vietnamese words and grammar are immeasurably rich. Please choose the words to choose each word. Each beautiful word or word only help us improve value, add you less enemies. To be like that, be a wise person to stay away from the following 5 things. Do not let the tongue of your tongue temporarily destroy your dignity. 1 is, living in the world, not saying nonsense crap. Talking long, talking tough, leading to rabies. The more meaningless we say, the less value we bring, the more harm we are to those who harm us. This life is inherently short-lived, everything happening in the world is 100% less desirable, so having certain problems must be calm, words to say must be clear, avoiding causing misunderstandings. Not worth it? Things that should not be said are kept in mind, understanding is okay. After all, we live in life, we can only rely on ourselves and be kind to ourselves. Secondly, living in the world, not saying complaints of complaint. Complaining or resentment only makes yourself tired, others hurt. Whether being a good person at work, keep your mind calm and accept and follow nature. A lot of things the blue sky has arranged for itself. The more I experience many failures in life, the more I have to endure many bitter things, the more we are willing to receive happiness if we try and strive for ourselves. Third, living in the world, not saying baseless rumors. If at any time you are going to say or hear stories, ask yourself if the story is of any use to you. Does it have anything to do with me and is it true? If it is irrelevant to you, does not increase or diminish your interests, grievances, it is not true that you should not speak and should not listen. In some cases, you just need to think for yourself, understand and just keep yourself aware. Don't waste your time, affect other people's lives. Respecting people around also means respecting yourself. Do not for unfounded stories, rumors that leaves face, left leave with others. This is the behavior of the small man, living on both sides without anyone wanting to be in contact. Out of the mouth, the more words of evil are lost, the more they lose. Fourth, living in the world, not saying wildly arrogant words. Do not say wild words but do not know how to think light. What people do in front of others is speech and behavior. The words can be directly transmitted from one ear to the other, seriously affecting the value of oneself. An extravagant man who is arrogant and loves to boast proudly will make other people suffer from eye pain, self-infliction, and resentment to the body. To be human, to be moderate, to define his position, to be modest and modest, not to show off in front of the crowd. There is such a poise to straighten the back, head of the sky team kick the ground without fear in the heart. The year is, living in the world, not saying bad mouths. After 100 years, one of us returned to dust. Beautiful words or ideas are like the fire of winter heating. And bad words only hurt like frosty frost. Any wound will leave scars, any evil words are hard to forget. Therefore, to make people happy, talk to keep Germany, leave the distance to both sides to be satisfied.